good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. So I was kind of a bit of a tease yesterday, a little bit mean. And I said, there's a group of people within most niches who they've got money, they're ready to pay for your coaching service. It's a secret market, if you will. And yet most people, actually in most niches, there's two groups of people. There's a group of people who've got no money, who are hard to serve, who never get results, who are really hard work. And then there's a group of people who've got no money. Now, for a group of people who do have money, and yet for some reason everyone goes after the first group. What's that about? So in a moment, I'm going to explain exactly what this is. I'm just going to share this into my Facebook group. By the way, if you're not in my group already, it's called the Magic Source for Online Marketing. 4,000 or so people in there. Well worth a look, because I post stuff like this in there as well. I make other posts, it's not, right, there we go, shared into there. So let's get going. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what this group is, how to reach them. And then if you made a comment yesterday with your specific niche, hi Anna, feel free to ask any questions as we go about your specific niche. If you made a comment on yesterday's post about your niche, I am going to go through and I'm going to talk about how to reach these people. So what's the big reveal? Who is this secret market? Well, as I said a minute ago, there's two groups of people in most niches. Number one is the group of people who don't tend to have money. They don't tend to get results. They're hard to work with and just generally not ideal clients. Then there's a group of people who have money, are willing to pay. They see the value of investing in themselves. When they see a good offer, they tend to be like, I'm going to pay straight away. Like, I'm like that person. When I see a good offer, I don't care if it's 10K, I make a decision on the spot and I pay. And when I get in your group, I tend to do everything you say. And as long as the course is good, I get results. And if I like it, I'll give you a good testimonial. So I'm bigging myself up a bit here, but I think generally I'm the ideal client for a lot of people because I do the work and I take it seriously and I'm happy to give testimonials. Hey, Kelsey, no problem. Well, good luck on your procedure. So what I see is most people, most coaches, most programs are teaching you to go after this first group of people, the ones with no money. I'm thinking of big coaching programs that I've done myself in the past that you may have done. I'm not going to name names, but let's call them customers whenever you want. Feel free to work out what I mean there. I won't go further with that. But these programs, what they do is they teach you to go after pain points. And if you've ever been on a call, a sales call, and you've gone back to these coaches and you're like, I don't know why they didn't sign up. All you get back in return is you just didn't hit the pain enough. You didn't hit the pain hard enough. You need to hit those pain points harder. People don't buy if they're not in pain. And that is true for the first group of people. But for the second group of people, it's not true. So the first group of people are the ones who are really struggling. The ones who are like, let's say it's business coaching. They are struggling in their business. They're making no money whatsoever, and they've no idea what they're doing wrong. Let's say they're in a horrible day job that they absolutely hate, or they're on benefits and they've got no money and they're trying to provide for their kids. So you hit the pain points. You're like, it must suck if you're in a day job that doesn't pay much and you go to work every day and you just want to be free from that awful job and you just want to have a great online business and sack your boss and live life on the beach. Now that's fine if you want to sell a $97 program. It's not fine if you want to sell a $5,000 program because those people don't tend to have money. Joan knows what I was talking about before. I'm trying not to get sued here. Those people don't tend to have money because they're in shit jobs that don't pay well. They don't have a coaching business that makes any money. So yes, you prod the pain points and they get it. And they're like, yes, I'm in pain. I want to get out of it. But you get them on a call. They don't have any money. And yes, if you're really, really good at selling, you might be able to like convince them into taking out some massive loan or selling all their worldly possessions. But personally, I don't want to do that. I don't feel good when I do that. It's not something I want to do. And it's just hard work. Why do it? Why not go after the people who have money and are happy to invest it? The other thing with these people is they, thanks, John. The other thing with these people is they often don't see the value of investing. These people tend to be what I call poor me type characters. It's all about my life's so hard, everything's so awful, everyone's screwed me over, everything's difficult, everything's hard, oh, it's so bad. And what they don't want is to sign up for a program. They don't want to take responsibility for their situation. They don't believe in personal growth and personal development. They just want to complain and be like, I'm a victim, life's so hard. You don't want to be working with these people. Generally, these people don't sign up as clients. And even when they do, they are the worst clients. I've made this mistake before. I signed up a few of these, and you have got to beat them every step of the way to make them do any work. It's like a horse in a race, just beat it every step, otherwise it's going to run off somewhere else. That's not what you want. You want someone who's responsible, who's an actual adult who takes responsibility for where they're at. So who is the second group? So the first group are people who are like not doing very well. Example I sometimes use is anxiety. I see people who are out with help with anxiety and depression. Well, if you help with anxiety and depression and you go to one of these big courses, they will say, okay, hit those pain points. If you've got anxiety and you can't leave the house, you're struggling to get out of bed in the morning because you're so anxious. Maybe you can't even go out of the house to get a pint of milk because you're so anxious of talking to the shopkeeper or leaving the house, whatever. That must be awful. You're not living your life properly and you're only treading water. Really easy to reach those people and hit the pain points. When you get them on a call, well, are they going to have any money? No, they're not, because these people don't tend to be successful business people. They don't tend to be high-level people in jobs because they can't leave the house. They're probably on benefits. This isn't to demonize any... Yeah, exactly, Michael. You can't just beat people to do work. You need responsible people who take responsibility for their own situation. So these people aren't going to have money because they can't leave the house. So it's not to demonize people in that situation. I have empathy for those people. I'm not saying those people don't deserve to be helped, but when you're running a business, you want people with money. You don't want people with no money. So by all means, get the people with money in, then help these people with no money. It's like a charity type thing for free, if that makes you feel good. But don't rely on these people for your business. So the people you want with money are people that I call people who are doing well already, but could be doing better. This is especially true in business, but I'll make it relevant to fitness and other industries in a moment. So my business, my coaching business, this is a great example of this. I do not aim at people who are brand new to business. I do not aim at people who have never started an online business before, who are in some like really crap day job, who are like, I'm like stacking boxes in a warehouse working nights and I earn £8 an hour. And I would love to have an online business that earns 10K a month. There's too much to learn. And I'm probably not going to be able to help you. There's so many things you need to learn about online business, and these people are probably not going to be resilient enough. It takes a lot just to get to the point where you make $1, let alone making several thousand a month. So I'm going after the people who are doing well already. If you're making between 3 and 10K a month, you're doing really well. You are statistically probably in like the top 1% of online marketers, because most people are making nothing. Hey, Shamila, is it Shamila? Did I say that right? You are probably in the top 1%. You're doing really well, but you know you could be doing better. You've got money because you're earning like 5, 10K a month. So even if you don't have money right now, if I can convince you of the value of your program, I had this with a lady on the phone yesterday morning. She was like, I don't have money right now, but I'm making 5K. I'll be able to save up for the first payment of your program in about 2 weeks. Let me come back. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, if you let someone go away and come back, then they don't come back. It's just an excuse. I can tell the people who are going to come back and the ones who aren't now. I can tell the ones where it's an excuse. She is 100% coming back. Thanks, Joan. Where was I? So these people, it's the category of people, I'm doing well, but I could be doing better. So if you think about the entire society of people as like a pyramid, it's like you've got most people on the bottom not doing very well, a few people in the middle, or quite a few people in the middle, less people here, and then it goes less and less until you get right to the top, like the super mega billionaires and presidents. Not many of those around. Well, if instead of going for the first level, you go for the second level or the third level, you're going after less people. Maybe it's like 80-20 rule, is 80 here and then 20 in the rest. You're going for the maybe like 15% who are the next line up. I'm just making numbers up here, but it's fewer people. But those people that you're going, hey, Fraser, appreciate that. Those people that you're going after? Well, because they've managed to reach that next rung on the ladder, they've had to maybe invest in themselves to get to that point. They've had to go through some personal growth. They've had to really work hard to get to that point on the ladder where they're doing better than 80% of society. Even though they're not doing as well as they want, they might only be earning 5K a month on their online business, they're still doing better than most people. They're doing really, really well. And my content is aimed at those people. When I get on a call with those people, and it's not fake in any way from me, I'm really genuinely mean it, I say things like, you are doing brilliantly right now. And again, these programs that I'm talking about, they will tell you not to say that. They'll tell you to hit the pain points and make the person feel like shit and be like, so, you're only earning 5K a month. That must be terrible. And you're like, no, it's not. It's great. I've got all the bills paid. Life's fantastic. Why would it be terrible? I'll answer your question in a second, Dave. I'm trying to show, so when I get you on the phone, I'm like, you're doing really well. To get to 5K a month is fantastic. You've got an offer that's converting. Things are going pretty good right now, but the reality is you could be doing a lot better. I've had a look through the Facebook posts you've been making, and there's a number of things we can improve in your copy. Your copy's not bad right now. It's not terrible at all. I'll say, I do not work with idiots. I don't work with people who have no idea how to write copy, who have these massive walls of text where it's like complete word salad. I tend to work with people who have pretty good stuff already. And your stuff is pretty good now, but it could be so much better. And the reality is, there's so many people trying to market right now. You've got to be exceptional rather than very good. You're very good. You need to be exceptional. And I'll say this to people and mean it as well. So when someone's on the phone with me, they actually feel good usually because I'm actually complimenting them. I'm saying you're doing a good job, but I'm inspiring you to be better. So when you get on the phone with a person like this, what you're dealing with is a growth-oriented person. These are the people you want to aim at, and these people are better at clients because these are goal-focused people. They're like, I want that thing, and I'm going to work towards it. I used to hear this as two types of motivation. There was a life coach I used to speak to years ago. He's on my friend list actually. I still speak to him now, but probably not in a couple of years. Hi George, if you're watching. He told me about towards and away from motivation. So away from motivation is the most common type. It's when you're in pain and you want to get out of pain. So he calls it jumping out of the fire. If you find yourself sat on a large bonfire, you're going to be pretty damn motivated to jump out of it. But once you've jumped out of it, you're not going to keep on jumping out of it. You've done the job now. So most people who are in pain, if you can take them out of pain, once they get out of pain, they have no motivation anymore. Whereas towards motivation is where you've got a goal and you're working towards it. Olympic athlete is a great example of this. So I found myself like in the gym for years and years, I was an away from motivation. So when I noticed myself getting a bit fat or a bit skinny or a bit like body type I don't like, I'll go to the gym and work really hard. But when I notice my body changed again, I go, okay, I like how I look in a t-shirt, and it's like, my arms are kind of like busting out a bit. I'm like, okay, I like this now. I have no motivation to work out. So then my body goes back down again, and then I have to work out, and I'm like this, like a yo-yo dieter almost. Whereas now I'm more of a towards and there. And I can talk about how I changed my motivation, but that's a story for another day. Mostly came from hiring a personal trainer who I just go and turn up, and I don't have to think about it. I just go and do it. But you can see the difference there with that motivation. Well, if you get people who are towards motivated by a goal, all you've got to do is convince them you can help them. They sign up to your program, you say, go and do this. They go and do it, and they come back straight away. I signed up a guy like this into my program on Saturday. He's already completed week 2 of the program. He's watched the videos for week 2 about putting Facebook content out. He put up a great Facebook post yesterday, got loads of comments on it, and now he's ready for the next step. And I'm like, these are the kind of people I want. What I don't want is someone where I go and watch week 1, come back to me, and then like I'm sending him a message a week later saying, hey, I've not heard back from you, Bob. Everything all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm just a bit stuck, or I'm even a bit busy, I'm not sure what to do, or whatever. It's like... And then I have to like talk him down off a ledge. No, you can do this, Bob. You can do this. Absolutely. Blah, blah, blah. You can do it. You're fantastic. You can do this. Go away and do it. Then I talk him into it, and he watches the video, and then I have to, every step of the way is like swimming against the tide. I want people who've got the confidence and resilience to go and work with it. So I'm going to look through some comments now and see what people say. Dave says, so in your copy, do you say it outright? Are you doing well in your biz, but you could be doing better? You could say that, but generally I don't say that because it's a bit cliched. I've seen people like, oh, you're doing well, but you're doing better. What I do is describe specific scenarios. So, are you doing well in your biz, but could be doing better? Is really high level. What does that actually mean? I tend to describe scenarios like situations where it's unambiguous. I describe a situation and you know exactly what this means. So I'll talk about on sales calls, where the post I made yesterday, on sales calls, you get one bottom feeder after another who thinks $100 is a fortune to pay for 6 months of one-on-one coaching. That hits my market perfectly, because those are people who are getting sales calls, they have an offer, but then they get someone on the phone who's like, what? Your program is $499? Oh my God, I can't pay this. And you're like, that's super cheap. What are you talking about? It should be 5K. So anyone who reads that and that hits the mark, that's it. So in your market, Dave, what are these situations that people are experiencing where they're like, oh, I can't believe this happened again. Oh my God. Does that make sense? If not, comment. Like I said, still use the tips from back in April about spacing out the text, some social media, proper eureka moments. So yeah, sometimes that's just like basic formatting. It means a lot because people don't read walls of text. Sophia says, I thought of helping newbies for a moment and then slapped it out of me. Well, glad to be of service. Yeah, you can help. There is a market for helping newbies. It's a bit, I compare it a bit like to Walmart in the US. It's like Walmart's market is lowest common denominator, the cheapest possible price. That's their market. You can go for cheapest price if you've got the highest volume and you can deal with that. For everyone else, cheapest price doesn't work. And that's kind of how I see like helping newbies. You can do it, but you've got to be geared up for it. You've got to be ready. Shay, is it Shay? I hope I said that right. Tell me if I didn't. I like this message. I tend to work best with smart women who know just enough to get it wrong and need some help to get it right. I noticed I have to shift away from pressing deep on the pain to motivating around the great rather than the good. Thanks for this affirmation. Yeah, so what I found, I did a mock call yesterday and again this morning with one of my clients in the ecosystem. And last night she was doing that. She learned this in another program, the program I named before but didn't name. And she was like, so tell me where you are on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of motivation to fix your problem. And I'm like, well, I don't really know how to fix it right now. I'm just on a call with you because I'm curious and I want to know more. I'm not sure if I believe it, I can fix it yet. But if I did, I'd be like maybe an 8, 9, 10. Right now I'm a 6 or 7. Well, you need to be a 10, otherwise you can't sign up with me. I get that, because it's like I'm trying to be the tough coach who's uncompromising. I don't sign up anyone. But in reality, that can work to the person who's in deep pain, who's like, oh my God, life's so hard. Yes, I want to fix it. Get anything, just help me fix this awful pain. But to the person who knows they're doing well, you can't be like, you're a worthless piece of shit, you need to die. No, you're a worthless piece of shit who's about to die unless you sign up my program. Because I'm going to be like, no, I'm not. I'm doing really well, but I know I could be doing better. So you have to go down the road of you're doing well, but could be doing better. And you can mention pain points. You can mention there might be certain pain points that are annoying you, but it's not a big deal. When I'm on calls with people, I don't hit the pain that hard. It's just not a thing. Shamila says, I get this itch too occasionally when I decide to do free content for newbies, but work with established businesses. So yeah, you can do content for newbies, but ultimately they aren't going to be your bread and butter. They're not going to provide you money. If you want to help newbies because it's like a charity and you feel good helping people, like, get a start, that's a choice you're making. It's like, I see it as being like helping out in a soup kitchen. I'm not expecting to get paid for it, but I might do it because it makes me feel good. Shay, right, I got it, Shay. Right, so yes, so I was going to go onto yesterday's post and go through the specific niches. So let's do that. So Sherry says, I help people create happier lives through boundary setting and learning to handle conflict by understanding what happiness really is. First of all, I'd work on your elevator pitch, because that's like it's a bit wordy and a bit like I don't really know what it means. But what I'm getting there is you help people become more happy. So this is something that will come out in your content probably. So it's how you describe these specific situations. Like I was saying to Dave before, you'll talk about situations people are in. So you're doing really well in work. Great example is my client Dahlia. She's a career coach. She helps people get better careers. And when she came to me, she was getting one person after another who were like 22 years old, got 100 grand of debt. They've just come out of university, never had a job. And they're like, get me a job. They're not going to invest in the 5K program. They've got no money. Now she's switched. Her content is all about aiming at people who are like 35, 40 years old, who've worked their way up in, say, a corporation. They're earning like 100, 150 grand a year. But they're like, I'm doing well in life. You can't tell me I'm not doing well. But I feel like life's kind of meaningless. I used to be like this in my day job in corporate. I was earning a lot of money, like probably about 150K a year in US dollars, but I'm like, I'm bored. I don't really see the mission of the company I'm working for. I don't really care. I'm just here for the money. There's a lot of people in that situation, and the money is no longer an issue. But if you come to me and you're like, oh, you worthless idiot doing this idiot job, what's wrong with you? I'm going to be like, I'm not a worthless idiot. I know I'm doing really well. But if you say, hey, you've done really well to get to the point you're at, you're ahead of most people, you're probably doing better than your friends. And I bet people come to you and say, you're doing really well, Richard. Maybe we can ask you for advice. And you're like, yeah, that feels good. Feels good. But internally, on the outside, it looks great. You drive a brand new Audi, you're in a big 4-bedroom detached house, life's good. Or in my case, a Jaguar. And you're like, yeah, life's good. But on the inside, you're like, I'm spending 80% of my day being bored and unfulfilled. And I'm like, do I want to spend the next 25 years of my career doing this? Well, when you say that to me, I'm going to feel good because it's like, yeah, I've done well in life, but I know there's another step to go to. So back to the happiness thing, your content, you want to figure out what you do to make people happy. Like, what people do you aim at? Is it people in this situation where you find them a better job? Is it... Like, it's hard for me to talk about this because I don't really know what you do. Like, through boundary setting and learning, it sounds like you help people walk. They're used to people walking all over them, and they now learn to set boundaries, and they're a bit tougher. And now people don't walk all over them; they feel more respected. Well, maybe instead of aiming at people who are on the bottom rung, who've got no job, who've got no girlfriend, who everyone thinks is like a loser in life, you aim at those people in the office who are doing well in the office, yet when they walk into a meeting room and they start to talk in a meeting, no one pays attention. And they're like, or people talk over them in a meeting, and they're like, they make a great point and someone talks over them, or they make a point and everyone goes, yeah, whatever. Then someone else makes the same point 2 minutes later and it's like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea. And you're like, I just fucking said that. So if you want to come on there and like be more clarity about what you actually do, then I can try and give a better answer. Next one, Shay, your turn. My niche is health and wellness for women over 30. So this is similar to my client Greg, actually. Greg joined up with me in May, June-ish. He was initially going, his content was all about, here's how to lose weight. Here's all about calories. Here's about the diet you want. And that's fine, but it's what everybody else is talking about. It's boring. So we end up finding a subset of people, women around the age of 40 or older. They're probably married, and they work away from home a lot. They're in a senior job and they work away from home because they have to travel with work. So when they go away from home, they go into some hotel which probably doesn't have a gym. If it does have a gym, it's going to be a shit gym because hotel gyms are always crap. It's not going to have a squat rack. It's going to have like, just so the hotel can say we've got a gym, it's going to have a token cross trainer and maybe like, some like dumbbells that go up to about 4 kilograms, and you're like, come on, this is not a gym. So they can't get a decent workout in. There's no kitchen there. They can't make food. They've just got a corporate credit card where they eat out in a restaurant every night. So these women, money is not the issue. The issue is time, because they might be working till 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock, and logistics. How do I eat out in the restaurant every night and instead of getting fatter, actually get in better shape? How can I do a workout in my hotel room that maybe takes 10 minutes in an evening, and I go out with my colleagues for dinner, that does something for me that gets me towards where I want to be? That's what he focuses his content on now, and he gets clients coming in. He gets people coming in and inquiring who can actually afford to pay for him. Like he's helped like this CEO woman who's got her own business and stuff like that, and it's like, those are the kind of clients he wants. Whereas beforehand, he was getting women on benefits who've got 5 kids who are like, tell me how to lose weight. Her problem is not lack of time necessarily. Her problem is, I can't afford nutritious food. I can't afford a gym membership. Again, not to demonize people in that situation, but I'm talking about how you can make money for yourself. So hope that was helpful for you, Shay. Next one, Seth. Fitness, health, and wellness also. So very similar. If you're dealing with men, doesn't matter, women, where is your section of the market where these people have money? They're doing well in life. So you're not dealing with the people on the bottom rung who've got no money. You're dealing with the people on the next rung up who are like, their problems are different to the people on the bottom. If you've got no job and no money and you want to get in shape, your problem is, well, motivation, money. How do I join a gym? If you've got a really responsible job where you don't have much time, well, they're different problems. Where do I find the time? When I'm finishing work at 8 o'clock at night, I'm not going to go to a gym and do an hour of squats. I don't care how important you tell me it is. When I come in, how do I have the motivation when I come in at 9 o'clock and I don't want to make any food. How do I have a motivation to make myself something nutritious as opposed to ordering a Domino's pizza? Different problems, but that's how you reach those people. Again, specific scenarios. When you come in at 9 o'clock at night, you've been working a 12-hour day, and you know you should be making yourself, a kale salad, but instead you want to order a Domino's and you lie back on the sofa and you have a beer because you're exhausted and you're drained, and it's a reward for a day of hard work. How do you stop doing that and eat something nutritious? Because you know if you do that every day, you're going to be fat. If you talk about those situations, you're going to reach those guys who are in that position. Those people have money. They're going to be like, this guy understands me. And they're going to appear in your inbox and want to know more, as opposed to just talking about fitness and health and calories like everybody else. Next one. Vanessa helps professional women who are struggling with their mental health take a leave of absence and create a plan to feel better. Okay, so this is quite mental health problems. There's a lot of different mental health problems. I think you've already got a niche there where they're professional women. So as long as how you describe their situation, and I've banged this drum a lot today about describing specific situations, it's not just, oh, you're suffering mental health issues. What does that look like? Are you in meetings and then you just find yourself wanting to cry and then you run off to the toilet out of this meeting with like 20 directors and you're like in the toilet crying and you don't even know why you're crying? Do you find yourself just going off the deep end and laying into people when you're like, and the next day you're like, why did I do that? That's really out of order. I'm just making up things here. I don't know if that's how a situation looks, but if you can describe this kind of stuff in your content, like your Facebook content, the people who are experiencing it and be like, I went through that yesterday. They're going to appear in your inbox. Easy as hell to convert them, especially if you can show them that you help people just like them in the past. Let's see. What else have we got? Stress busting from John. So again, stress busting. Stress busting could be like a bit like the anxiety example I gave before. Stress busting, can't say it. Stress busting could be, I'm so anxious I can't get out of bed in the morning. Most people don't have money. Stress busting could be, you are working so many hours, you're a really responsible job, and you're taking on everyone else's problems. You're in that position, maybe middle manager position, where you're getting shit from below and shit from above, and you're like, everyone's firing crap at me all the time. What do I do about this? If you could talk about the specific scenarios people are experiencing there, again, that's a potentially untapped market. Everyone's talking about stress, like people who are really stressed. What about people who are actually in this specific situation who are like, I'm dealing with it, men especially, because men, as men, I know this, we're taught not to talk about our problems. We're talk about, I'm fine, everything's fine, I'm dealing with it, I'm a boss, I don't have problems. Yet deep down, you're like, I feel like this all the time. A lot of these guys don't even know they're stressed. They just think that's life and they power their way through coffee. And if you can show them that they're actually stressed because they're experiencing X, Y, and Z, and this is how life is meant to look, A, B, and C, now you've got them interested. Coaches and consultants for Miles. Dead easy, because this is my niche. Exactly what I said before. I'm not going after brand new coaches who've never started a business before. I'm going for people who are earning like 5 to 10K a month, who already have an offer, who are already making sales, but they know they could be doing much better. These people, they've had enough resilience to get themselves to this point where they're making money. They've had to get over so many hurdles just to get to here. So I know if they join my program, they're going to be able to stay the course, most of them, as opposed to brand new people who are going to be like, this is hard work. I'm just going to give up and then blame Richard for not giving me the results, like with his magic wand. It doesn't work like that. Let's see, any more? Pat. How do I say your surname? Is it Esgro, S-G-R-O? My niche is solo business owners who have maxed out halfway to their goals and drown in the minutiae of it all. So actually that niche is fine, because depends what you mean by halfway to their goals. But if it's similar to me, where they are like, maybe I would say your niche is when you're at the point, and I'm almost at this point now, maybe the next couple of months, where you're a solo person doing it all yourself, and you've reached a point where you've grown, and you're now at the point where you go, okay, I need staff. I need a VA. I need a project manager. I need someone to manage staff. And I have no idea how to find and hire the right people. If you can reach those people who are now in the position where, hey, I'm earning 20, 30, 50K a month, whatever, and I need staff to help me out, but I don't know how to go to this next level because it's a new level of business where I'm not doing it all myself. And I'm super uncomfortable with giving work to other people because I know I'm good, but is John in the Philippines any good? He's cheap, but is he good? I know there's good people there and there's bad people there. How do I know who to choose? If you can help people with that, and how to not drown in the minutiae and focus on the right stuff, then you've potentially got something there. Michelle says, I'd love to create a course to help fellow entrepreneurs with chronic disorders, illnesses and disabilities, which actually generates income. So this is an interesting one because you get chronic disorders covers a wide spectrum of people. And I'm a bit like, how do you run a business if you've got like, chronic fatigue syndrome? I'm guessing it's probably not chronic fatigue, because it's how do you do that? When you're exhausted all day, maybe you can, maybe you don't. I don't know. I don't have chronic fatigue, never had it. So maybe I'm wrong there. So I would encourage you to think, okay, this falls into the category. If these people are making money, so these need to be entrepreneurs, similar to my offer. People who are making money, but their disability, their chronic disorder is holding them back. Maybe they feel tired after 2 hours of work and they can't get a full day's work in. Maybe they've got, ADHD, and it's like they sit down to work and then it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I've got everything set up to work, and then I'm distracted. I'm like, I'll just check my Facebook feed and my Instagram feed. And an hour and a half later, I'm still scrolling. A lot of people are like that, to be honest. I have that myself sometimes. I've really got to focus. But have a think about what specific scenarios are people who are actually achieving and making money right now experiencing, but are holding them back from getting to the next level. Any more? Let's see. Right, that's all that. So I'm going to go through the comments. Joan says, I have obese potential clients that their doctors are telling them to lose weight or they'll die or get cancer, heart disease, and don't want to pay. So frustrating. So again, what demographic do they fall into? Are they in the demographic of the people right on the bottom who are in constant pain? In everything in their life, they're in constant pain. Like they're struggling in work. Maybe they don't even have a job, but if they have a job, they're like admin assistant, lowest level, and everything. There's like, I stay away from these poor me victim characters, where they're like, the doctor says I've got cancer and everything's so hard, and I've got this, and I'm so overweight, and I'm going to get cancer soon, but I can't stop eating, and it's so hard, and people are mean to me in work, and I can't get to the next level, and I don't have time for this, and my kids this and that. Ask people, why do you think you're in this situation? If they blame everybody else, stay away from them. If they blame themselves and they're like, well, do you know what? It's because I don't, I've had some bad, unfortunate things happen to me and I've got into a bad spot, but it's because I don't really know what I'm doing and I don't know what to focus on. I just love someone to show me. That's a potential client there because it's someone who takes responsibility. But have a think, what is the level? There's people who are obese who are like entrepreneurs because they're focusing on their business all the time. If you can show them a way to focus on their business and lose the weight, maybe a potential market there. Because what's the use? I heard of like a guy in Saudi. I can't remember who was telling me. A guy in Saudi is worth $2 billion, but he can't get out of bed in the morning. He's so fat. He needs to be winched out of bed. I would not swap places with him for any amount of money, because what use is that for quality of life? You can use stories and analogies like that to help you when you're explaining to people. Then you'll say to them, look, I'm not saying you'll get to that point where you need to be winched out of bed, but when you get so big you can't do stuff, it's not just health issues. You can't walk down the stairs, you can't play with your kids, you can't walk to the local shop with being out of breath. That's no way to live. If you're helping entrepreneurs in that position, they've got money, they see the value, they're going to pay for you. Shay said, how do you communicate value relative to your dollar amount then for PO? I don't know what you mean to say something else there. People who aren't in deep pain, there you go. So yeah, the way we've all been taught on these other programs is like people don't see the value if they're not in deep pain. The reality is, if I'm working with a business owner who's earning $5K a month, I literally can say, well, look, if you've got a 5K program, and instead of selling one a month, I can show you how to sell one a week. You're now making 20K a month. That's 15K extra than you're earning now. My program's only 6.5K. Sounds like a no-brainer to me. All I've then got to do is show them that I can help them make the money. That I'm actually credible, which I tend to do with case studies, stories of other people just like them who I've helped, how I've helped myself do it, explain in detail how the program is going to work for them, not just in general. Here's how we're going to do it. If you enroll tomorrow, if you enroll with me now, I'll get you on the private members area. I'll get you in the Facebook group. We will set up a call for tomorrow, me and you, where I'm going to show you exactly the right offer for you, exactly what your target market is, exactly what you need to be doing, so there's no ambiguity. Then we're going to get you writing some Facebook posts that are really going to reach out to people, really going to hit your target market. I will review all those Facebook posts beforehand so they're perfect and you know exactly what you're writing. That's going to get people in who are going to start being interested in your program and your services. I'll show you how to talk to them to convert them. And guess what? Money in the bank. Once you've got these skills, you've got skills for life, because you might not do this business forever. So you've learned principles of how to write copy, how to sell, how to create offers that people want, how to find ideal audiences. These are skills that stay with you for life. So I said this to a guy who signed up on Saturday, actually. I said, look, I can't guarantee results to you. I mean, I want to, but I can't guarantee results for you because there's so many variables. And one of those variables is you, how you show up. So I don't guarantee anything. However, what I do guarantee is if you show up, even if you don't manage to make any money during the program itself, because it is only 6 weeks, some people do, some people don't, you're going to learn skills for life. And it's still going to be a value add thing. If you want to be getting anywhere in business, you are going to be massively up leveled by the end of it. And they're like, okay, that makes sense. Sign me up. He literally said, okay, send me a link, I'll sign up. And that's what he did. So in your case, Shay, I'll scroll up again. I think you said you said I work with smart women. I forgot what you were doing, Shay. Smart women. So it's about just seeing the value. So I say by the end of the program, if it's an 8-week program, by the end of the 8-week program, I'll scroll down and see if you've commented soon. Yeah, so it's about seeing the value of your program, obviously, but mostly it's getting them to believe. Like, ask them the question. So let's say your program's 5K, for argument's sake, Shay, and you're like, I'm dealing with smart business women and they want to lose weight. Well, you might be like, oh, well, wait, like it's easy for you, Richard, because you're in the business market. So it's easy to compare apples with apples and be like, okay, oh, well, I'm going to make you 20K and it's only 6.5K to join your program. So, okay, easy. But I'm in weight loss. It's different. Well, I used to be in dating coaching. So, completely different market, and I made it work there. And what I would recommend you do is literally ask them and say, okay, if I showed you a way of losing weight which is sustainable, so it feels easy to do. You can do let's say you help show them the gym and nutrition regime. I don't know what you actually do. Let's say I show you a gym routine or an exercise routine you can do from home, but you can stick with because it feels easy. It's actually fun. You can stick with it without feeling like you're forcing yourself every day to do it. Like you're swimming against the tide. It actually feels really easy, and the diet is fun. It's 10 minutes to prepare meals, so no real effort. It's at least as tasty, probably more tasty than what you're having now. So you want to continue with it. So you don't feel like you do on most exercise plans or diets, which is like, that feeling you have where it's like, oh, I've got a friend's wedding coming up in 6 weeks' time. I need to lose 30 pounds for it, and you just starve yourself until that point and like exercise like crazy every day, and it's a miserable thing, but it's like a boot camp and it's going to end. Then it ends and you get back on the cakes and the wine. It's not like that. This is part of your life now. It's sustainable. It's super easy to stay with. So you lose that weight, you look and feel great, you live longer, you feel fantastic, you've got more energy for your business as well, which means you show up better and probably make more money. Let me ask you, is that worth 5K to you or not, if I could give you that result? And then if they say yes, then it's a credibility issue. If they're not signing up at that point, it's they don't believe you can help them enough, or they don't believe you're going to get them that result, in which case you need to come round and show them more case studies, show them more examples of like, these are people just like you who I helped. This is how I'm going to get you the result specifically, until they believe. If they say no, I don't think it's worth that, you end the call. It's like, well, because you've said like, I've given you this amazing thing and they don't think it's worth 5K. Well, okay, well, all the best, if you don't see the value, then, we can't go much further with this. I wish you all the best, have a nice life. But that's a great question to ask. I would recommend writing it down, because it tells you whether they think that this is actually something they really want and whether it's worth investing in or not. Let's see more questions. Sophie says, I've got a free mentorship program, but I find it easy to work with established people. Yes, absolutely. I completely agree. Renee says, welcome all. Just signed a new anxiety client 2 hours ago while on my way home from lunch. Good times. Richard and his teaching is really helpful. It makes the sales boundary way smaller. Invest if you haven't already. Yeah, Renee signed up about a month ago. So yeah, congratulations there, Renee. I didn't know about your client. So absolutely fantastic. Brilliant job there. I know we had a little voice message chat yesterday, so I'm pleased you're implementing that. So good job, and I appreciate you telling people to invest, because I appreciate your marketing for me. It makes my job easier. Joan says, I like what you're saying about targeting people that inspire to be better and motivated versus people in pain and not motivated. Yeah. it gets better people in, and it feels better. Like I don't feel good making people feel bad. I don't feel good like it. And it feels manipulative as well. Like, oh, tell me where else this is affecting you. Oh, so your business is only 5K a month. If it stays at 5K, oh, maybe your wife's going to see you as a loser. She's probably going to go off for like, someone at work because he's doing better than you are. Is that possible? Maybe she'll take the kids and then you'll be lonely. Then you'll go in the gutter and you'll turn to drugs and you'll become a heroin addict and you'll be homeless. It's like, it gets ridiculous, doesn't it? And then the person who on their phone is like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Let me scroll down some more. Lost it there. Gina, I work with leaders who struggle in their relationships and want to avoid separation and divorce to help them reconnect so they can fall back in love and show up as the leaders they need to at home and work. So, Gina, this is something I would work out in the very first call with you if we had a chat about this, because there's a lot to go into there. It's not necessarily relevant to this call, but I'll answer that since you asked. What you're dealing with here is more like an offer related thing. So leaders who struggle in their relationships, I will be asking you, do these leaders know they are struggling in their relationships, or do they think everything's fine? So I would say you've got two categories of people. You've got people who are like, let's say, like, fortunately, I'm really happy in my relationship, but let's say I wasn't. I've been arguing with my wife every day for like the last year. I'm like, this sucks. Things have got to change. You can aim for those people who are like, okay, something's got to change, or divorce is coming. Or there's a whole set of people over here, which I would say is a bigger market, not necessarily the right market, but it's an option of people who are experiencing difficulty in their relationship, but they just see daily arguments as well. That's what a relationship is. That's how it is. If you're not arguing all the time, there's not enough passion. You don't care enough. That's how a lot of people rationalize it, which I think is bullshit. But so who are you aiming at here? Because your content is going to be completely different, or at least somewhat different, based on whether you're talking to these people or these people. These people or these people. There you go. That works with the camera. These people or these people. There you go. It's hard when you're on a mirror. I'm like, I'm going over here, thinking I'm going over here. So think about who you're talking to, and going back to what I said before, the specific situations they're experiencing. So you do not write Facebook posts saying, hey, you're a business owner who's struggling with your relationship. You talk about what's happening when they walk through the door. If you're working hard in your business and providing for your family, and you're doing a great job of it, and everything seems good there, yet you walk through the door and the first thing your wife says to you is, you didn't take the washing out of the machine. And it's like you're an idiot. It's like you're a little boy. And you're like, why does she speak to me like I'm a little boy? Why does she not respect me? And then you don't want to do this. It's not the right way to react, but you instinctively say, well, you didn't do this the other day either. And then you end up in a stupid petty argument. You have silent treatment the rest of the night. And then you wake up awkward next day. And then maybe you make up 3 days later. And you spend half your time in silent treatment. So if you can educate them that this isn't actually right in a relationship, and actually this is what it should look like, you potentially got all these clients there. And again, that falls in the category of showing them that you're doing really well over here, but over here, things aren't going so well, and this is why. So it's kind of, you're building up their ego, you're making them feel good. Yes, you're doing really well, but why doesn't your wife seem to respect what you're doing? Well, this is why. And you're kind of educating them into realizing there's a problem. Then once they realize there's a problem, you show them you can fix it. So, if you want to talk to me about that, Gina, you can absolutely PM me and we'll have a chat about it, because obviously I don't know what your offer is, and what I said there may have not been relevant. Michael, okay, cool. John says, lovely, thank you. Shamila, I work with e-commerce brands to help them make more sales from existing email lists, surveys, contests, and quizzes. The problem is many business owners focus on traffic instead of retention, so they splurge on ads, but don't make room in their budget for other forms of marketing. So this, again, Shamila, not dissimilar to what I do. In terms of how I reach people, my offer is completely different, because I'm doing organic marketing and showing you how to reach people on your Facebook feed and convert those people. But some of the things I'll talk about is, with those other programs, like I mentioned before, those programs teach you that all you need to do is set up an 8-week coaching program, a group coaching program, set up Facebook ads that go to a landing page. It invites people to a webinar where you pretend to be live, but it's actually automated, which I hate. And then invites them to book a call. And that's like literally the answer. And you just set that up and you're going to be making millions. Now that works for some people, but for most it doesn't, because everyone's trying it right now. So a lot of my content I talk about, if you've been running ads to webinars and you're getting some people booking and no one's booking a call, well, here's what's going on. If people are booking calls and not signing up, here's what's going on. Like I said in my my thing before in my post yesterday. If you're getting one bottom feeder after another who thinks $100 is a lot to pay for 6 months of one-to-one coaching, well, if you're experiencing that, you've probably been through those programs who are teaching you that stuff, and now you're getting these inappropriate clients on the phone. Well, I'm tapping into that. So how can you talk about in your content really specific things that your brands are experiencing? You're saying that for business owners are focusing on traffic rather than retention. So you can talk about this in your content. You get those people on your Facebook feed and you talk about these issues. You say, well, you might say, a lot of the courses you've taken or a lot of the advice you've taken says get as much traffic to your site as possible and you'll make sales. So you set up a Facebook ad that goes to your page on, whatever, a watch or whatever. And that's great, except, well, you're spending this much on Facebook ads and you're spending this much and you're earning this much back, which means you're not making much margin here. However, you could be making a lot more margin if you were increasing your value per customer. And that is all around retention. And retention comes from a number of sources, but a lot of it's from email lists. If you've got perfect copy on your email, someone buys a watch from you, instead of being like what most brands are like, which is like boring corporate emails, be like, okay, let me send you a voucher for this or whatever, or 10% your next purchase, and you're just like, yawn. If you can send them entertaining, fun emails that brightens up their day a bit, but actually also makes them want to buy stuff, you're making sales again and again and again. And for most people are leaving, 90% of their potential income on the table because they focus on these front-end sales and not their back-end sales. Then you give an example of clients you've helped and the money you made them make. I had a client, John, who came to me, who I wrote just a simple 6-email series on the back end, only cost him $1,000. But he's now making an extra $20K a month just from this one email series because all his front-end traffic gets put onto the email list. His traffic then see this and then they buy all this extra stuff. So, and that gives you instant credibility. It helps you. It shows that you're getting results for people. It opens people's eyes and educates them of like, oh, you're focusing on this. And yes, you're doing a good job with this because you're making lots of sales and you're doing really well. But there's all this over here that you've missed. And you could be making lots of money from that. So again, it falls into that category. If you're doing well, but you could be doing better. Let's look. Elisa. Recovering workaholics who are amazing at what they do, but suck at figuring out what their core message is. So this is not dissimilar to Dahlia that I was talking about before. So Dahlia went from coaching. I showed her, this is what I went through with her. She got loads of 22-year-olds on the phone who were like 100K in debt, just finished university, no job. These people don't have money, ain't going to pay a 5K program. Whereas now she's going for people who are earning like 150K a year, who are like 40 years old, they've worked their way up, they're doing really well, but they're like, is this it in life? Like, I'm feeling unfulfilled. So you can reach that demographic of people. Like, you've worked really hard, you've done everything you're told, but you're like, well, is this even what I want to be doing? But I don't want to switch to another career because I like driving a brand new Mercedes. I like living in my 4-bedroom detached house. I don't want to switch careers. So if you can talk about the specific situations, again, hammering this specific situation thing, I don't want to sound like a broken record today, but most people in their copy are not doing this. They are high level. Most people in their copy are like, if you're a workaholic and you're sick of being a workaholic, well, instead of being like, you find yourself in the office. You said you were going to go home earlier. You promised yourself you'd go home at 5 o'clock today, which for some people is late. But here you are again in the office at 9:30 p.m. There's only you and the cleaner in. And you're like, oh, this has happened again. And you're like, how do I get out of this rut? And something along those lines where they're like, that happened to me last night. Oh, my God. And then they identify with that exact situation rather than the high level, oh, I'm a workaholic. Then they're going to start paying attention to you. If you can then show them what the problems are of that situation, what they can do instead, and how life's better, and how you've helped people in their similar situation, easy, instant clients. Chris Williams. Chris, is business owners, professionals experiencing burnout in the right zone, or is offering a way to help them increase performance and efficiency likely to be a better market? Honestly, I don't know, Chris. You could do either one. Two completely separate markets. Either one of those can work. So rather than worrying about what gets the best result, because you could get either one of those and make money from it, I would consider you think about, I've done a video that you might see as an ad soon. where I do 3 Venn diagrams, because I'm a nerd and I love Venn diagrams. I do it on my whiteboard. It's your perfect offer is a combination of what you're good at over here, then what you like. I've done it again. What you have to go this way. What you're good at over here, what you like doing over here, and what people will pay for down here. The intersection of those 3 is where your perfect offer is. So, Chris, I would ask you to think, where do I get the best results? Do I get a better result with helping people with burnout, or do I get a better result with helping them with performance and efficiency? Do I get a better result? And which of these do I enjoy more? Do I enjoy doing this more or that more? Because so many coaches, so many people are like focused on getting outside of a day job because they hate working and earning more money. They don't stop to think, what am I going to enjoy here? Because ultimately, a lot of people switch one day job they hate, where it gives them a consistent income every month, for another day job they hate, working for themselves from home, which is inconsistent and a lot more stressful. So you can do either one of these, but it's about, again, that specific message of reaching those people and showing them. So in the first instance, you've got to be skillful enough to show people that their specific situation, the things they're doing every single day, so they can be like, oh, I am doing this every day. They've got a train crash coming where a burnout's going to happen. And if a burnout happens, it means this, and this awful things. So right now, everything seems great, but then, it's like when you go to your doctor and you've been eating McDonald's every day for 3 years. You go to your doctor and everything seems great, and he goes, oh, you've got cancer. And you're like, oh shit, the train crash happened. I wish I'd realized 2 years ago and I started eating some salads. You've got to make the people realize that a train crash is coming. Or you can show them that, a bit like I do with my people, you're doing really well right now in your business, but you could be you're reaching these heights, but you could be reaching these heights. And you show them specifically, this is why you're here and this is how you can be here. And you give them case studies of people you helped. Can't stress that enough. Case studies of people you helped really helped. People who were just like them. So really pick which one you want. You want to talk to me about it? Send me a message. Miles, geez, I missed the first 37 minutes. Damn it. Don't worry, Miles. Just go back and watch the replay. It'll be here for ever and ever. And by ever and ever, I mean it'll be gone in 2 days' time, because even the best Facebook posts have disappeared 2 days later, like they never existed. But I'm glad people are liking this. You're welcome, Shay. Again, if you want to message me about your thing and have a chat about it, I'm more than open to it. Yes, obviously I've got a program for sale. That's why I do this stuff. So people eventually sign up with it. But, I tend to give a lot of value on voice messages and stuff like that, and tips like I've done in this video. So, you don't want to sign up. I don't need to, try and get you into a program. I've got plenty of people sign up right now. It's going really well. So don't worry about that if you want help. Gina, good question. Determined to know if a relationship is struggling, they may not know. So yeah, if they don't know, that's up to. So you've got to decide. But a bit like I said a minute ago, that Venn diagram of what you enjoy doing, what you're best at helping people with, and what they'll pay for. Do you want to work with people who don't know they're struggling and help educate them they're struggling and then help them in that position? Or do you want to help people where their relationship is actually more serious and both people in the relationship know, like, shit, we could be splitting up in the next 3 months here? Neither one of those is right or wrong, but it's a different market and a different style of content. You maybe want to think about that. Shamala said, thank you. I love your tips. Now I have lots of content topics to write about. So excited. You are more than welcome. Chris says, thanks, Richard. Incredible advice. You know what? Keep these compliments coming. I love the ego massage. Hate to say it, but I'm not enlightened just yet. I enjoy a good comment, a good compliment. So the fact you guys like this is music to my ears. I may do another thing like this soon. If you have anything more specific around these areas or any other topics you'd like to hear about, let me know. I'm open to doing whatever people want to hear about. But otherwise, I think we're done now. I wasn't planning to talk so long, but we've gone on for nearly an hour here. So glad you guys liked it, and I'll be back soon. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And let me know, by the way, if you're going to implement some of this stuff, let me know, because I would love to hear how you get on. Otherwise, take care. Thanks for watching, and see you again very soon.